the craziness of GPT-5, the diversity across the board is wild. Sam Altman even kind of issuing an apology here where it could have gone a little bit smoother, let's be honest. People love it, people hate it, people miss it. It's just all of the emotions across the board here. Sam acknowledging basically that 4.0 is meaning a lot, which is interesting, you know, that people are growing attached to these AIs, even if GPT-5 performs better in most ways. And there's that objectivity there of just because it's better doesn't mean it's more favorable. You know, who defines what is better, really?
Being really angry at OpenAI and also at creators like YouTubers, at people making videos. Why they said ChatGPT-5 was so good while we are experiencing it being not so good. So as you were showing that a lot of people prefer the old version over the newer, better version, as Sam puts it.
So interesting, because you get, obviously can't generalize like too much, but you know, some people just don't care. They just want the model. They just want it to do its thing and whatever. But when you actually show that there is a difference between models and they can see it, there is actually a desire to actually maybe go back. Long term, this has reinforced that we really need good ways for different users to customize things. We understand there isn't a model that works for everyone, and we've been investing in steerability research and launched a research preview of different personalities. Some users really like emojis, some never want to see them. I'm probably never wanting to see them at all. Cold logic, where some people want warmth and whatever. So it is complex. You know, you're trying to have one size fits all when it comes to just, you know, providing something for everyone. They're rolled out to 100% of pro users, and they're getting close to 100% of all users. And then we're going to focus on some changes to ChatGPT-5 to make it warmer. Really good per user customization will take longer. So that's what they're sort of saying as well. Okay. There's some, I don't know the specifics, but there are some partnerships in Cursor as well that they're going to be working on.
Well, they were.
He doesn't mention that specifically in this thread, but yeah. So I think this is kind of ownership of, you know, not going as smooth, and they've done this a couple of times, I think. But the other aspect is Theo. I felt really bad for him in this video, because he's obviously taken a lot of beatings for it. And what he's essentially saying in this video is that he experienced a different ChatGPT or GPT-5 than what he experienced on launch day, which is what I want to kind of focus on here, which is really interesting. You know, you'd think that they would get a reaction and then stick with that version and launch it, but they're obviously tweaking it probably until the last minute. And this is something that got me thinking today, and maybe we'll discuss it. But like, I swear, AI goes through mood swings, and I don't mean mood swings as in grumpy and happy. I mean just like yesterday, for example, I was doing a bit of coding, and any change that I would try and make, it would just try and clear all of these errors. Even if I'm saying do something in this file or do something with this function, I ended up having to put do not do anything else in this prompt.
Yes.
And it was just in a mood. Whereas today, I've not had that issue. It's just done pretty much exactly what I want. But it's anyway, I'm going slightly off topic.
The same thing is happening. Yeah. To me, and I believe this is like to everybody, literally, like earlier today, I told, I was using the app, told it to not delete anything, but just change 5 lines. It literally deleted everything and just replaced everything with 5 lines. And I'm like, why don't you understand this? But going back to that video, there is one thing I don't agree with Theo. I saw this video where he says he doesn't believe that ChatGPT, that OpenAI gave him and other creators a better version, and then they released a worse version. He doesn't believe in that. And I don't understand why. Like, I would not say, why shouldn't this be the case? It would actually make sense for why this happened, and also in terms of performance, not just like pure ill intent of OpenAI, but what if they gave these creators an earlier version on, I don't know how much this matters, but like on infrastructure that is not so much limited, or like they gave them more free, like more time for the models to think or whatever. I don't know how they are managing the performance, but that couldn't that be the case, that they had a better version and then when they released it and everybody started using the models degraded because of the performance issues?
I don't know whether AIs degrade in performance because of capacity. I think they might degrade in terms about performance in terms of speed, because the GPUs are like working overtime, but it just takes longer. Again, I don't know, but it seems like it would just take longer for the answer to come out, not necessarily the quality of that answer. So that's my assumption. The other thing to consider is that he could have just been hyped. Like, he keeps stressing that, and this is a really common. Maybe it's my personal belief, but this is something that I don't believe people quite understand. That when you're paid to advertise something, that doesn't necessarily mean you're giving cold hard cash. Like, if you're receiving something for free in order to make content or do something on it, that is a form of payment, and more specifically, it's a contributor towards bias. So when I do see some creators say, look, they haven't paid me a cent, they just sent me this camera lens, don't get any say on the video, blah blah blah. By them sending you that camera lens is a slight bit of bias. So I don't know whether he was just super hyped, he was excited to be there. He was genuinely really impressed with the model, I have no doubt about that, but ultimately it came down to was it like buyer's remorse or something along those lines, where it's like, actually it wasn't as good as maybe it was just a day thing, I don't know, but like, yeah, regardless, he shared his opinion, and this is I don't know whether we were live before or after I mentioned this, but I actually wrote to him and I said, like, it's crazy that we live in a world where you just make videos and share your thoughts and opinions, and then people get upset about it, and you have to produce a video like this to apologize to these grown adults because they can't understand, or they can't put down someone's opinion, or disregard someone's opinion politely and whatever. They just get upset and angry. Point is, Theo experienced apparently a different model. I don't know whether he was hyped, whether it was bias or whatever, but we go the other way. You've got McKay Wrigley here. He says it's a really good chat model. He really likes it. And again, maybe it's a personality thing. API pricing is incredible, which it is. Although, again, I should probably have that tweet up, but someone mentioned that actually it's wasting a lot of tokens as well. But, there was the efficiency of the token usage was apparently a lot better. I trusted in that, which is why I moved all my AI stuff over, but I found it to be too slow. But that's neither here nor there. He's saying he's going to stick with Claude Code. I'm going to stick with Claude Code. I really like Claude Code. But yeah, coding wise, it was just too friggin' slow. It was taking ages to do stuff. And overall, I wasn't that impressed with code. So all in all, just a mixed bag. I think Sam Altman realizes the rollout could have been a little bit better, maybe a bit like, I don't know. It's just kind of all over the place. You've got different people saying different things, and it all just comes down to, like, just use what you think is good for you. All of these AIs respond differently on different days. Maybe you're a bit more, annoyed, so your descriptions are shorter or something like this. Like, they're so undeterministic that I think it's just a case of getting your hands in the code, in the model, and using it and seeing if you like it and if you don't like it. So that's my spiel.
This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.